Hey, I'm Stuckey, and joining me is my podcast co-host, Collin Wilson. Today, we're going to be building two primetime college football Week 7 parlays on FanDuel. We'll start with the same game parlay, and then we'll close things up with our primetime 3-team Moneyline Parlay, which last weekend should have hit, if not for an Oregon State last-second Hail Mary-ish type completion. But let's start with the same game parlay, Utah, USC, a big one here. And I think Utah's going to get this done at home, behind the raucous crowd. You have turnover regression coming for USC as well. This is just the place you do not want to go with a target on your back, turnover regression looming. And I think that just a great situational spot after Utah's loss last weekend and USC's continued undefeated streak. But what we saw in Oregon State, I don't think it's going to translate well here at Rice Eccles. So let's start things off with Utah Moneyline. Collin, finish us off for the same game parlay.
Yeah, the way that they're going to beat them is with TAVION Thomas on the ground. So let's add to that parlay with a TAVION Thomas over 80.5 yards rushing. Really, this comes down to the fact that USC cannot defend the run. We've already seen this when they played Oregon State. Oregon State marched up and down the field, elite rushing unit between the tackles, just putting it up the gut on USC all day. There's a USC defense that's outside the top 100 in rushing success rate. Everybody's moving the chains on the ground against the Trojans. And, you know, when you look at this, TAVION Thomas is now fully healthy. He had his moments last week in a loss, but he is still the most explosive player on Utah, and they're going to use him up and down the field. A methodical offense, not an explosive offense. Utah is going to get those rushing yards for TAVION Thomas, go over 80.5 rushing yards.
And we're going to take him for anytime touchdown as well. So TAVION Thomas leading Utah to victory is the same game parlay. So TAVION Thomas over yards, TAVION Thomas anytime touchdown. Utah money line.
Yeah, we got to go with San Jose State. They are on a heater right now thanks to the transfer of Hawaii quarterback Siobhan Cordero, who is now leading the Spartans and just blowing teams out in the Mountain West. They've got the inside track to make the championship game. But when you look at this game against Fresno State, who's going to be without Jake Haener, once again, they have been lifeless without their quarterback. But on defense, they're just not going to be able to handle what Cordero does as a dual threat quarterback, not just throwing the ball, but also running the ball. Fresno State is 114th in defensive line yards. They're not very good against explosiveness whatsoever, and that has been San Jose State's calling card. San Jose State gets us home on the first leg of the parlay.
I'm going to throw in two smallish underdogs. We're going to go Florida State getting it done at home against Clemson, and then LSU on the road against Florida. I think LSU's ground game can lead the way here against a really soft Florida run defense. I like LSU in the bounce back spot. Look out for Johnny Wilson in Florida State. So yeah, we're going to the state of Florida here for two shorter dogs. Let's parlay them with San Jose State, and that's your 3-team primetime parlay. If you don't feel like writing any of this down, you can always go to the college football section of the FanDuel app, click action, and bet with us. And as always, if you want to see our weekly parlay picks, make sure you subscribe to the Action Network YouTube channel. Good luck this weekend with all of your wagers, and we'll catch you same time next week.